Hello, everybody. This is Robert Price. So we're just going to continue from part one. Okay. I think this lesson also going to be jam packed. Okay. So stick with me. I got a concept that that we've been covering, but I think it takes it just a step further. Okay. So I have a chord progression. Okay. It's going to be in the key of C. Okay. We're going to look at this as like a song example. Okay. But I'm not going to put a title on it. This is the progression, and then we'll go into the examples. Here we go. It's gonna start on a 1, a 7, 3, 6 to the 6. All right, then a 5, 1 to the 4. This sounds so familiar, right? To the 3. All right, that's the 2, then the 5. All right. Okay. That's the progression that I'm going to use to show the examples of these minor chord movements. Okay. Now, just a little bit of recap. We did cover what you can do over the 7, right? We did. If you're going to do this, right? We said you can do this. Okay. These minor chords right here. If you don't know that, please check out part 1. Okay. Because it'll show, it'll give you more insight. Right. All right. But, so pretty much on this 7, what we're doing is I'm saying over that B, I'm just going a minor third up and playing that minor chord in second inversion. Okay. That's pretty much what I was saying the entire video. The inversion that a lot of people use in these situations are second inversion when we're doing this. Okay. All right. So when you're using the 7 and the 3, right? Remember I was talking about the 3? Yeah, a lot of times you're going to do that. So I also want to say this. You can actually do this right here. All this stuff over the 5 too. Somebody asked me that. So if we're in the key of C, let's say we're getting ready to finish a song. We're on that 2. That's the 2. Then the 5. Okay. All right. Now, pretty much I looked at it as a dominant, right? The 5 usually is a dominant, right? But in this situation, of course you have your 5 and then your 7 in your left hand. That's how we usually do it. If you're intermediate to advanced, a lot of times you'll see this right here. Right, you can put in that D. This is in your left hand, and you can kind of do. A lot of times people do this. If you're trying to go from a 5 to a 1, you will see that. Let me break that down for you if you don't know that. Really quick. So in your left hand, you start on that G, then walk it down to that 5, like a flat 5. You're gonna land on a 4. So don't just think about it in the key of G. Think about it as a concept in general. When you want to do this, right, in your left hand, you're going to start on that 5 and walk it down chromatically to the 4. Okay. When you get to the 4 in your left hand, which is in the key of C on that F, you're going to do you're going to have B, E, and A in your right hand. Okay. And I kind of flip that D to the E. Right? Then your 1 chord. My 1 chord, I play A, D, and G. Okay? So that's just a little quick thing that just kind of came out just now. All right? But instead of doing this, you can do this. All right? So we started. Now on the 5, usually if it's like this dominant chord, pretty much, let me look at it. That's a D. Pretty much that D minor, okay? So the way I found that was, what I did was, if it's a 5 in a case, so usually I say, well, what is the 5 in that key? This is something that I usually don't use over the 5, being honest, but you can do it though. So the same thing you did over that 7, that's how I say it. So, cause I don't want to confuse anybody. the same little minor movement you did over that 7, right? You can do over the 5, okay? And that can be like a dominant movement over the 5, okay? Just to let you know, okay? Because I was going to go and explain it differently just now, but I realized, like, you know what? Let's not confuse myself or anybody else, okay? So the same movement that you do over the 7, when you do this, right? You can do that over the 5 to take you to the 1, okay? All right? I hope that is something that you can kind of grasp just off me saying it like that. So, right? That's the 6. Now we're going to do a 5, 1, 4, okay? Now, earlier I did this, 3 to the 6, right? You remember the last video I said you can do that movement over 3, so you can do something like this, right? That's a 3-6 to the 2, okay? But watch this though. What about doing this? Or, okay? 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 All this stuff that I'm doing, I covered in the previous video, okay? But because I want to take you and I want to talk about this concept that that I think can blow your mind a little bit, okay? So, okay? So that's your 3 to the 6, which is a diminished chord. I'm not really covering all these chords, but to the 2. All right. So now that I answered that question, you can do this. You can do these chords over the 5, right, to get to the 1. I just kind of went over a little bit of the 7, but to really dive into the actual concept that I'm really talking about, check out part 1. All right. So this is the meat of what I want to talk about today. So we do know that if you're going to use, let's say the 7 chord or the 3, right? If you're going to use this as a passing, let's say we're doing a 7, 3 to the 6. I want you to know something. Now that we know that whatever bass note it is, so in this case it's a B, since we know that we're going to go a minor third up and play that minor chord in second inversion, how about we take it a step further? All right, here we go. You can act as if you're in the key of B, okay? If you're churching, right? So let's just say you're in, let's say, not in the key of B, but in the key of D. I'm sorry, I apologize. The bass note is B, so I think that's why I said that. Anyway, so since we're going to play the minor chord of D, let's act as if we're in the key of D major and we're kind of playing some churchy chords, right? So if anybody know how to play in D major, these are some of the church chords that you've done so far. Like, we've done this, right? I'm pretty sure you've done this before, right? Right? You've done that in the key of D. Watch this. I'm going to go back to the key of C, and on that 7, I'm going to play those exact chords, and let's see how it sounds. Did you catch it? Did you catch it? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to break it down for you too. All right, here we go. Right? Did you hear what I did? So, just to let you know, and so instead of just doing this the entire time, no, if you have a little space, you can play as if you were kind of churching in the relative minor, okay? All right, so, and that is going to apply to the 3 and everything, okay? So I'm going to show it. So since we're in the key of C, we know that we're going to go a minor third up from that B, right? We've already established that. So now, just to take it a step further, act as if you're going to church, a little bit, all right? Okay? And my left hand in this situation is B, F, hope that's loud enough, and A, okay? All right? Now, if you already know how to church in D, then you can take those chords and put it over that B. All right, so let me show you if you don't know. in the key of D, a lot of times to, you know, get you going so you're just not just playing one chord, a lot of times you can say, if I'm in the key of D, all I have to think of is a minor third away from it. This applies to any key. If you want to play some church chords, you can say, if I'm in the key of D, what's a minor third up? And that is F, okay? All right, so this kind of going a little deeper, so I hope you stick with me. All right, if I'm in D, I can play a F major chord, okay? And I can alternate from that F chord to a G chord. So what I'm thinking is, in any key, if I'm trying to play some church chord, just kind of sound a little bluesy or just whatever, churchy, I can think of the relative minor, which is in D is going to be F. I play that major chord, and I can play the a G major chord, which is the 4. Okay, so I think of the minor third, and then I think of the 4 in D. Okay, so now of course I'm thinking about the key of D, although I'm on that B. Okay, this right here is kind of advanced. Okay, but if you can get this as an intermediate or kind of beginner to intermediate, this is going to propel your playing tremendously. Okay, you see what I did? And you see? And it didn't sound too crazy. Now it sounds good because I'm adding something else, but in the key of C, it's not as if it takes you so far out to where you're throwing off a singer or anything like that. Okay? So like I said, I'm going to show you another example, but for the most part, since I'm on that B and I'm thinking as if I'm in a key of D, because I just want a minor third up, all we have to do is do a 1, 2, 3, 3 half steps up. Okay, if I'm on that, if I'm thinking in the key of D, I'm going to say, a minor third up is F. So I'm going to play that major chord, and I'm going to play that G, which is a 4th away. So look what I do. Watch this. So, right, you can do that. Or in this case, since we're talking about minor chords, you can think of it like this. So look what we're doing. So you can think of it like this, because for me, sometimes it's easier to just say, okay, if I look at it in root position, I can look at it like this. I have an E minor chord, which is this, and I'm doing this. I'm doing an E minor, and I'm doing a D minor, okay? And I'm explaining it to you this way because some people may catch on to the first part that I said. Other people may catch on to this, okay? So I don't want to confuse you or have anybody thinking that I'm kind of being contradicting or whatever. You may catch on to this a little bit better because you are playing these chords. Okay? And I'm pretty sure you can look and say, wait a minute, that's not a major. That's not an F major, right? So I'm going to show you all of this. And you will see why I do this sometimes and why I do this. Okay? All of this is just combined, okay? So let's keep going. So I'm still on that B, okay? Right? That's the chord. I can think of a D minor. So since I'm in the key of D, I can just think of a D minor. But of course, it's not root position. This time it's going to be first inversion. Okay? So it's a lot to take in, but you will benefit. So I'm going to think of first inversion of D minor and a first inversion of E minor. So, okay, I know I've already told you about this, but I'm just going to recap this again. If you're on the 7, think a minor third up from wherever you are. In this case, it's B, so we're going to be thinking as if we're in the key of D for this split moment, okay? Since you're in the key of D, you're going to say, what's a D minor chord? Okay, that's a D minor chord, first inversion. And then I'm going to think about the second note of that scale, which is E, right? And I'm going to play a E minor. So I'm just going to alternate between a D minor and an E minor. All right, that probably sounds a little bit more. I wanted to give you those major chords because I don't play the minor when I do it this way. Okay? And I'm going to show you that when we go to another key, okay? All right, just checking the camera angle. So, all right, see what I just did? Now I'm playing an F major. So it's all about your preference and your sound, okay? What you're going for. In this case, I'm playing the F major, you see? And the G major, you see? Somebody else may say they want to do this. You hear it? You hear that difference? A lot of times, I know you guys have probably heard this. Or you can do this. So either way, I want to explain it to you that way so you can at least have two different ways of playing it. So if we're on the 7, all right, here we go. So since I'm already on that, you can just do churching. Okay, go between that E minor and that D minor. Okay, then by that time, now you're on the 3, right? Okay, so I hope that made sense. I really hope that made sense. Okay, because we've already done this. I've already explained that half step movement, but I want to go a little bit deeper. You can act as if you're churching. So and do some more half steps. You don't have to necessarily just do this. You can start on that E minor and do a half step down, right? Okay. Okay. All right. So let's look at this in the, on the 3. Okay. So we've done this 1, 7, 3 to the 6, 5, 1, 4. Also over that 1, that's another dominant, okay? So when you're doing this, 5, you can do something like, so, okay? So just to let you know, the dominant chord that you're playing, of course, but a lot of times we do this, okay? This right here is a A minor, okay? So in this sense, when you're on the 1, if you're playing like a 5, I'm just giving you so many concepts, y'all, so I hope it's not too much. But if you're doing a 5, 1, 5, 1, over that 1, usually that's like you're playing like a dominant chord over 1. Of course, there are different things that you can do, but you can say, let me go down a minor third. This time we're going down instead of up. So if you're on C, if that's your 1, you're going to go down, which is 3 half steps. So 1, 2, 3. Play that minor chord and second inversion. I think I covered this maybe in the first episode or the first video of this. So that's the root, first inversion, second inversion. Okay, so you could do this. That's your 5, 1, 4, okay? But if we're gonna be here, if you want, you can actually do this. Okay? You could do that. So if you started on this is your first one, do that half step movement. Just take it down 2 half steps. Okay? That'll put you on that like a G minor, but it'll be a G minor in second inversion. Excuse me for being sloppy. All right. So that's just one thing you can take away. All right. So you can put that in any key. Okay. Because I just gave you the formula. All right. So now let's go to that 3 because we've already done the 5, 1, 4. Now let's do that 3. You could do this. Okay. So this is the chord I land on that 3. I have a D, G, and C. This is my left hand, okay? I mean, this is my right hand. On that left hand, I just play a E and a C, okay? All right? You could do that, but if you want to get a little bit more, gospel, that gospel feel or, churchy feel, you can do this, okay? And I'm pretty sure you guys have done that doing like certain songs, okay? It's just a turnaround to get you to the 2. It's a 3, 6, 2, 2. Okay? On this 3, let's apply the same concept that we did over the 7. Let's just see how it goes, all right? Let's see. So over the 7, we said that we're going to think like we're in the key of a minor third away from our bass note, okay? So let me see, we're on a 3, a minor third up is G, because we went 3 half steps up, right? So we're on that E. So the first half step is at F sharp, then G, okay? In G, if you want to church in G, let's see how that will sound. Let me see. I just drew a blank. But the church chords I'll probably do is, right? Right? And I'm trying to play it slow so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Right? Okay? Let's see if I can do that over the 3 really quick. So I just did my 5, 1, 4. Here we go. Right? So you see what I just did over that 3? See? Ooh. But so you see what I did over that 3 though? So it's so many ways you can do this, all right? So let's cover that though. When I'm over that over the E, you remember what I said? I'm going to think like I'm in the key of G. Now, do you guys remember the chords that I said you can do and how you get there? Remember, you can think a minor third up from G, right? Which is a B flat major. That's your minor third. I can play that major chord. Okay? All right, so that's the first one. And then what else? I said that you can play a fourth away from G to give you 2 chords that you can just kind of go back and forth between, right? So that's a C. So you remember, if you're thinking about G, C is a fourth away from G. So that's a B flat chord and that's a C chord, right? Right? You heard that before. So stuff like that, right? Here we go. So you can play a B flat major chord and a C major chord over the E. All right. All right. Right. If you're gonna do a 6, then a 2. Okay. So that's why I made this whole progression, because it's a lot of songs that do it like this: a 3, 6, 2. So instead of playing this type of 3, you can do this. Of course, you have to, make sure it's in a proper context or, a good situation. That's why I keep saying like churchy situations, because you can definitely get away with this type of stuff. Right? Okay. So let me show you the minor way of doing that, because these are major chords, right? Right? But then you saw when I did this. And then these are minor chord. Okay? So the first chord I did was this. Okay? So if I'm thinking G, right? Do a G minor chord. Okay? Now you remember what I was saying before, a lot of times when we're playing these minor chords, they're going to be in second inversion. So this is this is a G minor, that's a root. This is first inversion. And this is second inversion. All right? Okay? So we're going to do that. And you remember, so we said we're going to do the G. Do you remember, didn't I say do the, play the minor of the second? If we're doing like in a G major scale or whatever, A is the second tone of that scale, okay? A is the second tone, so you're going to play that minor chord. So the 2 minor chords that you're focusing on are a G minor and a A minor, okay? So G minor, second inversion, A minor, second inversion, okay? So if you're churching in G, all right, Okay, so you can do this. Okay, you can do that. Now you remember, like I said, in this case, our bass note is E. It works over that E. Okay, now you heard me do this passing. You can do that. So you start on that A minor and then walk it down half steps, 2 half steps. Okay, so if you're on the 4, you're getting ready to do a 3-6-2, 3-6. See, then a 6, and over that 6, I'm just playing a G dominant. I mean a G diminished. Okay, just to let you know, if you guys keep saying like, what is he doing over that 6? All right, I'm just changing the inversion. Okay. All right, and then just a 2. All right. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much what that is. And what I do, I just do it again. I'll do like that's an A minor again. That's an A minor first inversion. I have C, E, and A. That's a G minor. It's just a G minor first inversion. Okay. So I have B flat, D, and G. Okay. So that's the same thing. So over that 7 and that 3, you can apply the same concept. Just go up a minor third and act as if you're playing like your churchy chords in that key. Okay? So if I'm over the E and I want to do like a soulful movement, I can do right to get you to that 2, okay? And if I'm doing a 7, right? Okay? All right? And you remember, just like I'm just recapping, okay? Over that 5, if you're getting ready to do like a 5-1, you're finishing a song, instead of doing this, okay, you can do that, or you can actually do, okay? The way I got there was I said, wait a minute, what's the chromatic movement that you do over the 7, which is, okay, and then 1, okay. So let's go to I don't know, I can just trying to think of a random key. If we're in F, okay, if you're in F and you're getting ready to do a 7, oh, I also want to show you something. Wait a minute, in F the 7 is E. We just got done covering if you wanted to do this type of passing. So honestly, I'm going to do the same chords. So this is why I put in a title that you can be fluent. This is how you get fluent in all your keys, because you take these concepts and you realize like, wait a minute, this is the same thing I did in the other key, right? So if we're doing that same progression, 1, 7, 3, 6, 7, 3, 6, over that 7, let's see what I can do. That's the 1. You see what I did? So on the 7, if you're in the key of F, if that's your E, which is the E, you can do pretty much the same thing we did in C, right? Because you're using passing chords. When it comes to passing chords, a lot of the concepts are the same pretty much. Like if you're doing this type of thing, if you're doing that over that E, most likely you're going to take these same chords over that E and you can use it in another key, okay? So that's like a deeper type of wisdom or something like that, or some knowledge or whatever, okay? So we already got the 7 down pat, because that 7, the 7 in what? F is the 3 in C, okay? And I'm just talking about scales, okay? In the key of C, the 3 is E, but in the key of F, that E is the 7, okay? So hopefully I'm not confusing anybody, all right? If I am, just kind of rewind it and listen to it again and you'll get it, okay? All right. Okay, then we do the 5, 1. Over that 1, you remember what I said? It's like a dominant, pretty much. So you just go down, down 3 half steps, and you play that minor. So in this case, if the F is our 1 and we're playing like a dominant F, We can do a D minor, right? Because we just went down 3 half steps. We got to that D. Of course, we're not going to play just a D minor root position. We're going to play it in what? Second inversion. So let's see how that sounds. Let me see. That's root, first, second. All right. So I'll do this over the 5. 1. Ooh. Okay. That's the 4. That's a lot of songs. Even like what Never Would Have Made It. Never Would Have Made It. Never would have made it without you, right? Okay. So that left hand, I just do a 1 and a flat 7, okay? Over that chord and then a 4. This. All right, that's the 3 to the 6. So over that 3, this is gonna be the last one. So this video is not too like drawn out, because I'm pretty sure you understand the concept now. All right, or you at least got enough information. Over that 3, what we're gonna do is we want to do something like this, right? Okay, and then, all right, just get us to that 2. So what did I do? Over that 3, what I said, since I want to do that passing, now in this one you need to go up. So we're going up to a minor third. From the A, because that's our 3, we're going to do B flat, B, C. Okay? We're going to think about the key of C like we're churching in the key of C. If you know how to church in the key of C, you're probably doing stuff like this. Let me see. Right? Right? You see? So that's, you can play all those chords over that A. Okay. Okay. I just started from that C to that E flat, but let's think about the minor approach first. Okay. Since I'm thinking about it in the key of C, I'm going to play a C minor, right? Okay. I'm going a little faster now. All right. So, let me see. The second tone of C is D. So we can play a D minor. So, okay, there you go. Now, of course, what inversion we're going to do it in? Second inversion. So that's first inversion right here. This is second inversion. All right. And here we go. So C minor, second inversion to that D minor, second inversion. So here we go. See? So just learn all the inversions pretty much, because you don't want to get stuck with just knowing second inversion. I'm only doing it because in a lot of gospel songs, you will hear this movement. You will hear that. So I just want to at least give you the chord in that inversion, okay? Okay? And then, okay, to your 2. So there you go. You know, that chord progression with that 1, 7, 3, that's a song. Because I know some people ask like, hey, can I give a song example? Okay. But I did feel like this progression is so popular, you know. So I just want you to at least understand where you can put it. You can put it on over that 7. You can put it over that 3. You can even do it over the 5. And if you're ending a song over that 5, you know, just think about the same thing you did over the 7, okay? The same thing you did over the 7. Let's say we're in the key of C again. If you're getting ready to finish a song, you know, if you want to do that over the 5, this the 2, 5. You can do. We already covered that. Okay. All right. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Definitely let me know how you guys felt about part 1 and part 2. Okay. And I'll be talking with you guys soon.